Nothing wrong with that. Well, you guys don't really have to pop and roll 20, but you can if you like. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna ask a couple of you to make some rolls, but I can just do it for you. Just minor stuff. But for the most part, tonight is just an intermission. We finished our first case, which was blood on the snow, which is, I think it went well. I was really happy with how the ending to that took place. And this is just sort of a touch base episode. We're gonna do a little bit of talking about what happens to the characters in between, because there's gonna be about a month and a week-ish period between sort of big cases. And we're going to talk a little bit about our characters' backstories, describe, sort of who they are, and sort of understand some of that stuff together. And most importantly, so I do have this sort of willpower mechanic. I finally got the character sheet updated. I'm really happy with it. I'm sure I'll make some weird little changes here and there. Bard will probably make his own version, which I'm sure is going to look incredible, and maybe we'll end up using that. I'm not sure. Might get some inspiration from it. We'll see how that goes. But so with the willpower, your character, it's basically a bullshit point, if you want to look at it that way. It is like a moxie. It is a fate point. The idea behind it is if there is ever a role that you want really bad, feel free to use the willpower point. That's what it's there for. It's your character defying all odds and saying, no, I'm going to make this happen. So last session, that could have been fixing the generator. Now, we didn't end up needing that because we did get a small generator and we got the oxygen working, but that could have been like a plot critical moment where the generator dies and you're all fucked. If somebody wanted to burn a willpower point on that because we didn't have anyone that could really fix it, that's reasonable. Borrowed used the first willpower point, not dying. So that was kind of cool. That was his character, even though he got like critical by this giant beast slammed across the fucking cave and smashed into a wall, he picked himself up and he got out and he still unloaded his shotgun a second time. So that's awesome. Now he is down a willpower point, but at the end of a case, which last time it took 4 sessions, I don't know if it's always going to take 4 sessions. It's sort of up to you guys how fast we go, right? But at the end of a case, I'm going to ask the party, everyone present, what happened? What is our, not what we're telling the police, not what we're writing in the official books, but what do we think took place? And if I'm sufficiently happy with your answer there, if I think you've come kind of close to solving the case, or at least close enough that that I'm happy. I feel like you guys are all paying attention, found a bunch of the clues and stuff like that. Then we're gonna get some willpower back. So that's sort of like a little bit. If you guys work towards trying to solve the mystery, get a little bit of a reward, and it's great for me because if you guys don't solve the mystery or don't even come close, I can now see what you did take out of it, and then I can go, oh, okay, so these are the things you guys are picking up on. These are what you're investigating. This is what you're interested in. And so I can make the next one more geared in that direction. You know what I mean? So, what do we think happened? What took place? It's our big answer.
We killed the bear.
True. Yeah. I mean that is a fact. But this is a pretty easy one. I'm not baiting you guys in a trap. So our case was set out. What happened to the pizza boy? What happened to the pizza boy?
Death.
Mm-hmm. But what killed him?
Case closed. What killed him is a bear.
Officially, yes. That's very true. No, this is a pretty obvious one, but I think we need to build up sort of like the ability to talk and not be embarrassed and be like, oh, I'm gonna say something, be afraid of being wrong. We're all a group. We're all gonna make mistakes. I mean, I'm the DM and I make mistakes all the time. Don't worry about that.
First mistake you started the game.
Sometimes I get called out on it, and it's awesome. Like last time when Bard was like, "Hey, shouldn't we have oxygen?" I'm like, "Yeah, we should." You know. So never be afraid to call me out.
Shouldn't we not die?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, you know, take your time on that one, I guess. But so what is the official statement then? Because we have to put something out, tell the locals what happened, and fill out a police report. We've been discussing in Discord. Fox wants her name just completely stricken. Like she wants no official part in it. I know Origami's quite keen on turning over pretty much everything to the authorities. As you know, he's a dutiful intern.
I want to graduate.
That's
He's
very true.
so
Well, I mean, hey, you know, he's got a goal. Borrowed wanted to go with. Borrowed wanted to go with like some sort of mutant bear scenario.
And also play it off as we weren't directly involved in killing it.
You were not directly involved.
Nope.
Okay, so you
We
determined
found it that way.
you determined it was this bear, but you had no part in the actual. Somebody else shot it. Some other hunter. Are we crediting anyone? Are we even saying it was a hunter? Or are we just saying you found it dead?
If we say it's a hunter, they'd say, how do you know it's a hunter? So we could just say, you know, kind of wave our hands. It was like that when I got here. I didn't do it.
Was already broken.
So that's our statement is like, oh, we just found it dead.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just checking.
That's my statement, at least. I don't know.
Okay. Now, the roofie cocaine, we already gave that off for sampling, so that exists. I assume we turned over the rest of it. Put it in the lockup.
Nope.
In,
I keep it.
you just keep it in your house?
No, I'll keep it unlocked and safe.
Okay. So where's your safe?
In my house.
Okay. Okay. All right, that's interesting. Bard was saying that he dragged the body of the Wichuge, if that's what it was, back into the cave. Is that correct?
Yes. Could put it back inside the lab.
Okay. You took the head, put it with it, presumably?
Yeah, put it nearby.
Okay, cool. And the bodies of the kids were all just left there?
Well, at least that's why I want to leave the big guy's corpse there, because why would one be outside, the rest inside?
No, Zelvis mentioned to me that he wanted to go back and finish off the one that was still alive down there. That's still the case?
That's on him.
What about the blood that the big guy, the trail of blood that the big guy left when he ran after us, or when you
Right,
dragged
because
him
you shot his
right
arm off.
back into the cave? Yeah, that might be an issue.
Fair point. Okay, fine. Don't put him in the cave. Put him at the base of the, what in the hell? Base of the drop off. Just kind of shove him off it.
Okay. All right.
Because then he was outside, he got shot, he ran inside, and he fell off a cliff.
Okay, I like
Especially
that.
because.
And burned to death.
That's right, yeah.
Well, I mean.
Copious amounts of shells as well.
Well, I mean, if it's supposed to be that he got shot outside and ran inside, the shells outside are fine.
That's true, that's true. Okay, excellent.
Just keep bullshitting, we'll get there eventually.
So the next thing I was gonna sort of ask is, now that we've had a session, we've sort of, well, 4 sessions actually, I believe, right? And we've had,
Something like that.
yeah, sort of had a bit of time to get a feel for our characters and stuff like that. We have at least like names for them. Backstory stuff would be super cool, but
Hmm.
I know we already had Borrowed, and we have Professor Leopold. Do you ever come up with a name for the sheriff there, Zelphas, by chance?
He's
Or
dead, Jim.
oh, he's dead. Oh, Origami's character was Jack, wasn't it? Something Jack Death.
Yeah, Grimjack.
Grim Jack. Sorry, Jack Grim or Grim Jack?
Yes.
What's his
Yes.
first name?
First name will be Jack.
Oh, okay. I was just checking. I wasn't sure. And I think Fox. Have you come up with a character name? I know you're pondering a few.
I like Jane for the first name, but still not sure on the last name.
Okay, fair enough. And let's see, what else do I have to ask? Oh, right, yeah. So, what's like for each of our characters, what is like something sort of helps you relax at the end of the day? What is your sort of big support in life? You know what I mean? Is it like a belief in the church? Maybe is it, maybe you take the booze? Is it your family? You know what I mean? Like what's your sort of anchor to reality, as you will?
I would say cigarettes, but smoking in a national park, wildfires, probably not.
Well, you could smoke outside, but yeah, that is definitely a tricky one. A park ranger who smokes would probably be always angry. I guess you can
go
vape.
over and telling someone can't have a campfire because there's a burn ban going on. Yeah, well, you're smoking here, fucker. True.
Absolutely. It's just something to keep in mind, because I always love knowing sort of like deep stuff about the characters, their drive in life. The other thing is actually, hope Dan doesn't mind real quick. Wow. Oh, jeez. Bard gets to recover 3d6 health. Not too bad.
Bug is 3d6.
Roll good, my boy.
Let's see which one does better, real life or fake life. It's a 9. Oop, that one fell. That's... no, that's 12.
Well, rip you.
Piece of shit.
It happens, man.
Weighted ass dice on D6 or D20.
So that puts you up to what, 10 health? Or I guess 9, because you're technically on 0, right?
No, I had 15, but technically I was at 0.
Yeah. So you're at 9 HP now. Pretty good. And then everybody, just because we finished the case and we did pretty good and all that stuff, we get to... Not that one. Get to roll...
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
So if you do recover from dying after using willpower and you have 0 HP, so that means if you get hit once again, you
Correct.
die instantly again? Okay.
Yeah, so you have to keep burning willpower. So
Okay.
that's the benefit of having a character with a high maximum for that stat. Is in theory, you can survive a little longer. But, yeah. Hard to say, right? Is it better to use it on the shot before you get hit, or is it better to use it on the hit after you don't kill them? But everyone is going to recover 3d6 stress. Just, sitting around at home, relaxing. It's been a little bit over a month. Not a whole lot's happened, and you also get 1d4 of your sand back.
Okay, well, I guess we'll call it 1 die.
Wooch!
1d4.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're all fixed for your stress. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got 1 of your sand back, Maggetti. That's pretty good.
After this sand recovery from killing the witch Yuge, I was actually already back at full sand.
Okay, so you don't need it then. Origami, actually, yeah. Oh yeah, Fox had some stress. It's good.
Yeah, I was going to lose like 1 or 2. Was it 3 or 4? I don't know.
I was gonna say your health though is kind of low. Get to
Oh, my
roll.
health is fucked.
Yeah, you get to roll 2d6 for health recovery. The doctor wasn't quite as lucky with you as he was with Baron.
Hold up, let me log in.
Oh, sure, dude. Sorry.
What was the roll?
2d6 for that, and 3d6 for your stress.
That's my HP, and that's my stress. For recovery on my stress.
That's not too bad. You almost got all your health back. And then you get 1d4 for sand. Excellent. So, there are a few events that are going to take place over the next month and a bit. We ended the last session on February the 18th, was it, or 19th?
Yes. I don't have my note page open.
February
Question,
the 18th.
though.
Yes.
How is melee bonus calculated? Obviously, it's off your strength, but how do?
I have a little chart I wrote down. It's just if you have a certain value, then you get bonus. I'll
Yeah, 'cause I'm trying to program automatic calculators into the spreadsheet.
Oh, cool. I'll send you the info after. Anyway, yeah, it was the 18th that you went to the cave. It was the 16th. It's the first day of the case. So we're not sort of getting a call until March the 20th. So yeah, like a month, basically. In that time, first off, we have, I'll write down here. So, borrowed at your house. I assume you live at a house, right? Outside of town. What's your situation there?
Yeah, I'd probably say not so much a house as a converted
Like a cabin?
ranch.
Okay, yeah.
So there's not really any animals, but it's just pretty much it's a house sitting on a few empty acres of grass.
For sure. And what describe a bit of your house? Kind of stuff we find there.
Finding stuff there. Well, I mean, Stanley's not the best with technology, so he probably wouldn't necessarily have a. Well, no, he'd probably have a laptop for email and shit, but that'd
Right.
probably be about it.
Coffee machine.
Coffee machine. Standard television, stereo, that kind of crap. Gotta have something to entertain yourself out there.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. And do you have a picture of kind of what Stanley looks like? He's kind of beefy, right?
other than Smokey the Bear, Kappa Kappa. Yeah, I can find something.
Oh, like I don't need an actual picture. I just mean like sort of an idea in your head. Like when we say Stanley, what are you thinking?
Thinking dude, yeah. Like he's not the strongest of people, so he wouldn't be like, super large, but 6
He's
foot.
chunky.
Yeah, he's kind of chunky. Rudy's more chunky though.
Yeah. Deputy's kind of beef.
Hmm.
Like short, cropped hair? Like that?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Oh god,
Park Ranger
Daniels.
outfit. Cool. Well, anyway, there's sorry?
I was checking age for. I should really look at it. Yeah, he's only 33, so he's not super duper old.
I mean, you can change the age to whatever you like, but I was just sort of throwing a few things down there just to get the first session rolling. But there's a knock at the park ranger's door. We'll just say somewhere around the 21st of February.
Fuck off with cold.
It's still cold. It's fairly early in the morning, actually, and presumably you go to check who it is.
Yeah, assuming he's awake, depending on what kind of shit he's had to do recently at the park.
Okay. Well, the knocking persists for a while. I assume you grumpily head on over.
Yeah, kind of fall my way down the stairs and open the door, I guess.
Okay. So you're staring at a man in a suit, and
Always the damn suits.
That's right. Says, yeah, is this the house of Stanley? Richard Alexander?
Just say no and slam the door in his face.
The inspection not due.
It would depend on how much money he owes you.
He's like, well, I'm working with the CIA, Agent Rickles. Could I come in and maybe talk to you, ask you a few questions?
I suppose, but it's been a long night, so make it brief.
I won't take too much of your time. Sorry about that. He sort of comes in, sits down on the nearest couch or chair or whatever you have available. Would you have a couch? Are you a couch person?
Probably have one of those, the L-shaped sectional couches.
Okay, so he'll sit down sort of on that, I
For
guess.
the ladies, I see.
He just keeps it open.
Or for having more than like 2 people in the living room, because if you're trying to watch a sports game or something and you only got a tiny ass couch, like.
Well, I'm surprised that Stanley has people over. Thought he was a little antisocial.
Well, you can only be so antisocial when you work in a national park, because you have to go rescue dumbass campers and stuff.
Yeah, fair enough, for sure.
You guys took 6 steps off the path and you got lost. God damn it.
So he sits down with you, and he pulls out a notepad and a pen, and he clicks it 3 times. And he says, right, so, Mr. Alex, do you prefer Stan? Do you prefer Mr. Alexander?
Let's just go with Stan.
All right, sorry, Stan. Just a few quick questions. Have you ever heard, just throwing this out there, of a Weichuge? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I believe it's a Native American term.
I know there used to be a reservation, but that got bought out.
Do you know who it got bought out by?
Person to be asked.
Well, that's fair. certainly we were hoping to get in touch with some Native Americans as well, but they have moved out of the area. Sort of next quick question for you. You ever heard of toil snacks?
Well, I've heard that they're horrible for you and that there's not a natural ingredient on the list.
Well, thank you. I'm sure my superiors don't really want to know all that, but that's
You know
just
what's natural? Cyanide. That doesn't mean anything.
That's true. Yeah, you can get it from like
Apple
freaking
seeds.
millipedes. Oh, that too. That's so funny that you and I would think that way. Anyway, and so, and he's, sorry, he jots a few things down. Like, and you haven't recently visited an old reservation by chance?
Last time I was on the reservation would have been 4.5 months ago because somebody went too far outside the park's land.
Okay.
Had to go tell them they weren't allowed to camp.
Okay. And if someone was, looking, or how should I put this? If there was a body, a specimen, this mutant bear that I've read about in your local paper, and it was at the reserve, you wouldn't know the whereabouts of it, would you?
I'm going to assume you don't want me to be a smartass and say it's on the reserve.
Well, I don't know where it is. I've just sort of been tasked with finding out this information, and we just hoped that maybe, the local park ranger might have a bit of information on the subject.
Well, everybody's calling it a bear. I haven't seen the corpse. It's dead, right? I haven't seen it for myself. So, seeing as they're calling it a bear, I would say it's in a cave. But, I mean, if they found it, then maybe it wasn't in a cave, because normally you don't go into caves looking for bears. That's how you die.
Okay, well, sorry for, taking so much of your time early in the morning. One last question. If, for instance, we found something tying you this location, maybe a little bit more recently than 4 months, you still have no knowledge of the whereabouts of this bear.
Nah, 4.5 months was the last time I was there. It could have been somebody else from the park was up there. I'd have to, call the office and ask, but,
Okay,
yeah.
well, thank you for your time, Mr. Stan. I'll see myself out.
I'd like to invoke my Fifth Amendment rights to protect myself against self-incrimination and decline to answer.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah. So
I'd like to invoke my Second Amendment rights. Shh, get the fuck out of my house.
All right. Well, Agent Rickles does leave. Doesn't put up much of a fight there. Now, in other news that keeps the weeks colorful, there is a 3 a.m, unfortunately a few days later, like a loud call, an alarm bell going off in the sheriff's office, wakes the deputy right up, as he usually sleeps there. And it's this crazed old woman just screaming into the phone about a fire.
I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, there's a fire."
That's right. There's been a fire. There's a fire.
Troll in the dungeon.
Indeed, though, it is Miss Wilborough, and there's a fire just across the way. She's terrified, of course, that it's going to reach her flowers, her prize-winning flowers. Not that any are growing in the middle of winter, but what can you do? So, presumably, well, we have no deputy here. But
Tell her that the ashes are good fertilizer.
okay,
True.
okay, yeah, the deputy will put that past, I'm sure. Is Zelphus still here or is he gone?
He's got your boy.
He never even talked, so
Oh, he was here for a second at the beginning. Well, that's all right.
his Discord might have fucked up.
That's true. Okay, well, we'll just say then took them a little bit to get to the call, and the Rieger estate is ablaze.
I could have called the deputy instead of like the county fire department.
Well, that's a funny question. I'm from a small town, much like Sleepy Pines, albeit a bit smaller. The local fire department was a 30-minute drive. So normally what you would do is you would phone up whoever the closest was. In our case, it was the police, and they would pass along the information, but then they would come down and help section off the road and get people sort of evacuating and stuff like that while the fire department showed up. So, yeah, but it's still like waiting half an hour for fire trucks. It's gonna burn quite a bit in that time. So yeah,
a garden hose only does so much.
That's right. The Rieger
try
state
to stop it from spreading a little bit.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, you guys can put in the effort. I'm sure a lot of the town will show up, help push some buckets and throw water, make sure everyone's all right. The good news is no one's living there currently, so didn't have to worry about anyone dying.
With all those like cannibalized cows or whatever?
Still in the barn, which is ablaze, so no biggie there.
Probably smells like one hell of a barbecue.
It probably does, yeah. Absolutely.
Get out some barbecue sauce. Wait, what's the barn made out of? Is it a good wood for smoking?
It is a good wood. It's a nice cedar, yeah.
What about mahogany?
Mahogany.
Cedar with a mesquite roof. Apple timbers on the inside.
So later in the evening, of course, the fire is being put out, and the whole thing is just destroyed. I mean, there's still like a frame here and there and stuff like that. It's not like the whole place burnt instantly to the ground, because that's not what happens. But is there anything we would like to do with the old Rieger estate? Maybe say a few words. It was nice knowing you.
We want to do an arson inspection.
An arson inspection? Well, that's clever. I like that. Okay. So who wants to do our forensics on it? Right, Mr. Intern?
Like, nobody's seen Rieger in 2 weeks, so it's weird his house would just suddenly catch a blaze.
I thought we confirmed that was his dead body, or...
We did. No, we did confirm that, yeah.
But did we file that?
Should have.
Probably should have made no. I mean, well, you brought the body back to the morgue, and you wrote medical papers, so...
Nobody saw his ass for 2 weeks, and then he was found dead. So...
Yeah.
Really, really weird his house caught ablaze then.
Well, the fire department said it was an electrical fire.
That doesn't mean shit.
This is, it's probably...
Yeah, they could have set a short up or something.
Yeah,
I would just check for accelerant or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I mean, hell, grab a kitchen towel and a fork, stick the fucking fork in the electric socket, and catch the towel ablaze eventually.
So how, presumably forensics is how we would take a peek at this, right? Yeah. Origami, you want to give us a roll? See what you come up with?
Sure. I passed.
Whoa, buddy, damn! It does look as if there was some accelerant in the kitchen, where presumably the electrical fire would have started.
It's gas, get down.
Looks like a large amount of the accelerant was coming from the sort of basement portion, or under the fridge was. Also searching around the house, as Origami's checking for everything, and because you got such an incredible roll there, you notice there's no trace of the electronics. There'd still be some cases, you know what I mean, for the computer and stuff like that left.
The radio's also gone?
That's correct, yeah. The
Okay.
computer, the radio are gone. Also looks like a few of the few of the boxes may have been removed as well, but it's hard to tell. Just looks like a lot less like paper and such burnt up than we're expecting.
What about the medicine cabinet?
The medicine cabinet was like, it looks to be untouched. So, I mean, the bathroom's probably mostly still there because that would have been the last place to burn, and it's a bathroom, so it takes a while to burn through tile and stuff like that. And waterproof drywall is pretty thick, so.
Thick.
Thick. Can you say? All right. Let's see, other things that are going to happen in between. Oh yeah, just the one more big thing, and then aside from that, it's whatever you guys would like to talk about, whatever your characters would like to be doing in the interim. But sort of on a week before, because we're going to have March 20th be the day when the next case begins. So somewhere around the 13th, Maggette, Professor Leopold, gets sort of a very vivid dream.
Okay.
Yeah, you wake up to what you can only sort of assume was a nightmare, but you remember it vividly. Only a nightmare in the sense that you felt dread. Not that anything in it was necessarily, terrifying or hostile, but you just woke up feeling of dread. And in your dream, you were alone in a fog-ridden forest. There's sort of a thick, damp air choking you. And you see this emaciated dog. Maybe it's like a coyote, like that. Sort of walks by and it stares at you hungrily. Not long after, you're sort of making eye contact with this dog and it's staring at you with these very odd, intense eyes. A horn blares and this sort of animal takes off. A group of horsemen ride past, giving chase. One of the riders stops to hail you. He's a massive figure, clothed in heavy furs, and he speaks in a slow, wailing, unknown tongue. He beckons you forward, and then continues after the group. Now, not only does this sort of shake you, but you get this dream night after night the next week.
Huh. How many horsemen did I see in the dream?
Give or take anywhere between 5 and 12. It's sort of, you don't really have like an exact number. Sometimes it feels like there's more, sometimes it feels like there's less, but you always remember this large figure covered in furs coming up to you, and every time he beckons you forward towards the group.
All right.
So the 21st is when the CIA came to my house. When did Mrs. Wheelbarrow have a fire?
Ah, that's a good call. We'll just say that was like the 7th of, the 21st, so it was like the 25th of February. 25th of February is when that happened.
Just keeping the records.
No, that's fair.
One thing I'm interested about is, was the barn conjoined to the house in any way, or did
It was
both
not.
go up at the same time, pretty much?
The fire department says it must have spread because of the sort of, I mean, it's wintertime, dry grass and all that. What they're saying.
Was there snow on the ground, though?
Frost.
That should have tramped it down pretty hard, wouldn't it have?
It should have retarded the fire, but
It should have,
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much what I'm getting from here is that the CIA probably burnt down that house.
I mean, I can't tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
that's right. Well, I mean, Agent Rickles would have to kill you. He seems like a good guy. I trust him.
Is the van behind the house still buried there with the corpse of the little?
Oh, that's a good
Good.
question. Who's going out the check?
I don't know if that was on our report or not because we never sent that corpse back.
Well, that
But-
corpse was brought to the morgue.
Yeah, they are probably smart and they would follow the same trail that we did. So
Yeah.
I'll follow.
Well, I mean, as the joke goes, military intelligence, but
Well, the CIA is not quite military, but
yeah, but it's so government. Like,
now I
they were
just
able to link the park ranger to the case. So
I will check the
Well,
wreckage.
well, they said they have evidence I was there, but they only have evidence that, like, if anything, that a park ranger might have been there.
Well, here's the thing. Actually, I wonder if anyone, since everyone was a little shy and awkward and weird or whatever the fuck was going on, and didn't want to tell me what happened with this case. You know what I mean? Try and solve it. I wonder if anyone can solve this to get the willpower point back for the team. Does anyone know what could have linked Stan to the cave?
I think I missed that part.
You did. You weren't there, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's fair, Dino. Now that was
But he
just the
wasn't.
last session.
I was gonna watch that episode tomorrow.
Oh, you're in for a treat. Maybe. I don't know. I remember the
You're
end
in
of
for
it
some
being really good.
PTSD.
The end of it was quite nice, actually.
I have a guess.
What's that, Foxy?
The remains of his generator?
Okay. Yes, absolutely. That doesn't exactly link Stan, although it's possible he touched it without gloves. But the generator was exploded, so it's hard to say. But,
Another guess.
but you're on the right track. He left something behind.
he was attacked by the thing,
Correct.
the monster, and probably left some blood. I'm assuming he didn't clean it.
That's right.
So if they were able to link that to some file about him, where they would have
I
his
mean,
DNA.
You'd assume, like most people's DNA is somewhere on the computer. Unfortunately, it's just the way she goes.
Mine is not.
The heck?
Mine's not.
I thought you
I
were
don't have
German.
I don't have my fingerprints on record either.
Yeah, me neither.
I think I have my fingerprints.
Yeah,
think, when I was, like, a
having
kid.
your DNA on record is pretty much you're a felon or you're somebody in the military or something.
Really?
Like, they probably have my blood type on record for employment purposes, medical emergency, but
Well, I'm gonna remember that next time you guys try and DNA trace some fucker. I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, you don't know.
well, I mean, that's like all you can really tell. Like, yeah, without having something to compare it to, you'd be like, okay, well, this is O positive, so
Mhm.
Yeah, and with DNA you can do a couple assumptions based off of like the genomic background.
Well, you can sort of like determine like kind of their ethnicity and stuff like that, I assume.
Yeah, and you can do like this guy might be or might have a heart disease or something, depending on how
okay.
intense you go into it.
Well, I mean, like we
you can
said,
get
I
like
mean,
generalized things like, okay, it's black male with black hair. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's cool.
that narrows it down to these people.
well, Agent Rickles didn't come right out and say that Stan's under arrest, but there's they're got you bookmarked anyway. They got you.
Well, Stan doesn't read a lot of books.
That's
so-
true. You're safe. But yeah, I'll go ahead.
Ooh,
You get your willpower point back there, Bard. We did some nice detective work.
I also had another guess. They might have found some shotgun shells from him.
They
and
sure did.
some shotgun shells.
Now,
Might have determined the gun.
here's
I
the
don't know.
thing. Shotgun shells don't actually leave like the bullet, whatever it's called, bullet marks.
True.
Yeah,
yeah.
there's no rifling.
And-
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, there's evidence that somebody was there because there'd be imprints from like the vehicles driving up to the cave, and then there's a shitload of shell casings.
And there's a lot of park rangery stuff, and the DNA kind of puts him close to what Stan would be, but there's no definitive evidence.
Define park rangery stuff.
Well, I mean, we have the generator.
The ropes?
We have the rope. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff there that's...
Flares?
You don't.
We took
Because
all the ropes
generator-
back?
The generator was in the truck, and we pulled Spaghetti up with the rope. So we brought the rope with us up the
But we
cave.
had the
The
rope
anchors.
anchored, yeah.
Yeah.
Then how do we pull the rope up then?
We didn't pull Spaghetti up, did we? Oh yeah, we totally did, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, the only evidence they would have really had, I guess, would be that there was pittons in the wall.
Yeah.
Batons in the wall. And, I mean, well, clearly somebody was down there, seeing as how there was, like, the door open and everybody inside was dead. But
Right, yeah. And the again, there's tons of ammunition. Now, that said, tons of ammunition. We did not clean it up, and you don't have to. You don't have to play it paranoid, because for all we know, the CIA are on our side. Right? I think there's a lot of us here, and it's up to you what you think, and it's up to you, you know, how you go about this campaign. But I think a lot of us are kind of thinking Toil Snacks are the bad guys. You know, or at least they're very shifty. So if Toil
Everyone's the bad
Snacks
guy.
are pretty much the bad guys, maybe the CIA is the good guys. Maybe we want to
well,
work
if
in.
Toil Snack shifted anymore, there'd be a goddamn transmission.
Well, speaking of transmissions, oh, Dino, you got the picture I sent of your map work, right?
I don't think you sent me that.
Oh,
Let me have a look. See.
maybe I forgot to send it to you, and I just put it in like. Oh no, I posted it at the end of the last session. That's right. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
But yeah, so we did get that done. Is there anything else? Not really.
I'll leave the guy's name here for sake of copyright, but, like, there you go. There's Stan.
Where's...
RPG.
Oh, that's great! I love it. I love it.
Because he's in his 30s-ish. He's not the biggest of people.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
I love Fox.
Yeah, so there's like, let's see what I was going to say. Oh, Foxy was coming up with a pretty cool backstory. I'm not sure how good she feels about explaining some of that. But yeah, so I put you on the spot, didn't I?
Yep.
Come on, I don't understand. Like, we talk to each other all the time, right? Don't
Come
get me
on,
wrong.
Fox, you stinking nerd. Come on.
I
give us
have
your
like tons of social anxiety. This is like hard for me. You know what I mean? But like,
Come on, Fox, you can do it.
there you go. We got Zelphus back. Everything's good. What's up, my man? Where you been?
Sorry, I got pulled away from something about work.
Oh, that's all right.
Yep.
Oh,
So I'm sorry for the silence.
that's okay. Do you have a name for your sheriff, by the way? I can throw down here real quick.
I have several I'm going to fiddle with. I'll just send you the information afterward.
Oh, okay. Cool. It's just that at some point we're gonna want everybody to have all this information, because
Oh, you mean it can't just be like Shepard? What's my first name? We've known each other for 8 years. You're obviously Commander. Stop it.
Shepard Rex.
oh man.
But yeah, I'll write up something for him right now.
Oh, cool. No, there's no rush. I mean, by the next session would be awesome. But
You'll have it by the morning.
like I said, it's not like a huge rush.
Gotta work them late hours.
Yeah. So, I can give you, if you guys have nothing else you really want to talk about, because we just did like the kind of intermission-y stuff. I can give you a little bit of a sort of sneak preview, the start of next session, the hook.
Did
geez.
anything interesting happen to my character besides?
No, the doctor, I
missed?
believe, spent the whole time at the morgue or the hospital or
Okay.
whatever. Yeah.
But like in the intermission period, nothing interesting happened.
Unless you want it to. And see, I
Oh.
would love that. You know what I mean? Like, What did your character get up to? No?
Well, I probably would have finalized my medical reports after consulting with some other people in case we wanted to leave anything important out. But
And then you've been working, I assume, the whole time.
yeah,
So,
just working. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
doctor stuff.
I probably have a clinic here or something.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, Magetti, Fox was actually wondering, is it cool if sort of your characters maybe work on a little bit of a backstory, something together?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yes.
Excellent.
Also, would I be able to contact this one guy we saw in the picture who was associated with a Minnesota? No, it wasn't Minnesota.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
We're in Minnesota. Correct.
Archaeology Society thing.
You guys notice I said Minneapolis, right? Doesn't happen often. But yes, for sure. Let me just double check.
Mini Apple is the big part.
Minneapolis. Cool.
See what he's up
you've
to.
got Mini, you've got Apple, and then you've got Polis Station from Metro. So ta-da!
Right. I just need
Or Polis Massa from Star Wars.
Oh, hey. Now we're getting crazy. That would be Patrick Johnson, I believe. Right?
Might be. I haven't.
Well, there's
written down the name.
Lindy Bell and Patrick Johnson
Yeah.
and Jeremy Rieger were in the photo. We say, was Lindy Bell part? I believe she was, yeah. Yes. So
Well,
Lindy Bell
Rieger's
and Patrick Johnson,
dead.
right? We're both
Is-
members of the Minneapolis Archaeological Society.
I thought something happened with Lindy.
Well, Lindy's the one who went to Egypt.
All right.
So it's quite likely that Magetti has met her at some point, or at least talked to her or read her work or something, because they both had similar sort of passions in studying Egypt. Granted, she was into burial rites; she's very big into that. And what's your sort of like big field? Is it just like uncovering like ancient artifact kind of stuff, or? Because her big fascination was like the pyramid. She was fascinated with like sort of death, and that's why she came here to study in this cave, because she had heard, about potential Athabascan burial rite stuff.
That's a good question.
Oh, I mean, whenever you know, just let me know which one you'd like to give a call and what you'd like to say to him, and I assume you're just asking a few probing but not obvious questions.
Yeah, I'll probably call her, Lindy Bell, I guess, since I know her better, probably.
Okay.
See what, ask her about what she's been up to in this cave, what she has seen and what she's worked on here, stuff like that.
Okay, I'm just gonna write that down, Lindy Bell.
Why they took that photo and what they discovered down here, and why they left it, like with all the tents still there, and they didn't bother to get their equipment back.
Cool. Well, you just reach her voicemail, unfortunately. But, I mean, you're just gonna sort of leave all that information, and maybe she'll give you a call back next session. Who knows? Kind of cool. It's a little bit of smoke and mirrors there. It's the DM's way of saying, I don't know the answer to these questions. Let me think about it.
And before she killed herself.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Herself
have her
with
dead.
3 gunshot wounds. God damn it.
Yeah, my guess.
Does she work for Toil Snacks? She's dead.
Has she eaten a toil snack within the last 10 years? Dead.
Has she?
My guess there was actually that somebody did something to her and is monitoring her voicemail and now knows that you know something about whatever happened.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
DM ideas, goddammit.
I'm dead.
Thank you.
I had a knock at my door. They're gonna kick your fucking door in.
That's right.
Well, it's all right, guys. She's actually on a business trip right now.
Oh boy.
She's going to a seminar.
She's not to get no.
Expanded business practices for the modern mind.
Oh man.
Oh man, I don't see that ending well.
God damn it, Toil, you pieces of shit.
No,
Every
she's not. That was non-canon. Those jokes.
Business trip is being to Guantanamo Bay, where she gets waterboarded.
That's right.
Well, I mean,
Sorry.
that's the thing with waterboarding. Like, if you hear somebody say that they went on a trip and went waterboarding at Guantanamo Bay, that sounds cool. It sounds like surfing.
That's right.
Oh, never mind.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but the new character sheet, I have 4 social skills. One of those is interrogation. So
It's very simple. You tell them that you're going to break one finger every minute until they tell you everything
That's
that you want to know,
you know,
and then you will move on to toes.
yeah, because it's one of those things
Double
like
the process by doing it joint by joint.
Oh yeah, that works too.
I've played so many like RPGs where it's like you either just have one social skill, diplomacy, for example, or you have like too many. And I was like, what if we just say like all of the social skills are just the same means, you know what I mean? Well, that you want the same goal essentially. So it's like you can use any of those for like a persuasion roll or a diplomacy roll. But it's like, flattery, that's one way of doing it. Intimidation, okay, that's a little different. Persuasion, yeah, all right, and then interrogation, right? They all get answers. Just their own little ways.
Is interrogation really different from intimidation?
Yes.
I mean, intimidation is like threatening the guy, and interrogation is asking questions.
Well, I mean, intimidation is sort of the, it's like the threat of violence. Interrogation is the act of violence. You know what I mean?
So it's the difference between assault and battery, then, is pretty much what I'm getting here.
Yeah. Because it's sort of, you could look at it as the same thing. But I think if you tell me I'm going to intimidate this guy, or you tell me I'm going to strap him to a chair and interrogate him, 2 very different scenes play out. 2 very different scenes, and I'm cool with both of those scenes, but right, it's like if you want to be like a little bit of an asshole.
I mean, at the same time, doesn't Dungeons and Dragons have modifiers if you're actually actively hurting them?
It does in the newer ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I mean, I'm sorry, I can't really help you after 3.5.
I played Pathfinder.
Well, yeah, Pathfinder. Yeah, I played that as well. I'm a big 2nd edition guy, but it's all pretty good.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was thinking kind of lumping them together works pretty well, because if you're actively like doing something to them, that should just give you a bonus to your roll or whatever. I don't know. It's all up to how you want to run it.
I mean, we can always change that at some point. Right now, I kind of like it. I mean, I'm really happy with the new character sheet because it's like so much more condensed and easy to read. You want to find something, it's like bam. It took me like an hour today to figure that one out. Either way, Fox, your character, you mentioned she was tipping away, maybe putting some of this on her blog.
Yeah. Basically, like, she would have wrote about all of the stuff and anonymously released it on the web. And then her and everyone else who's involved in the same circle, they would like all kind of cover it with their, I can't think of the name, like alias names online, basically, so that it won't like point towards someone in particular.
It's pretty cool.
Go through.
Obviously, you guys just all.
That's right, yeah.
No,
Yeah, she just posted a big green text story.
She just reblogs it on Tumblr, like all of her friends.
Green text shit post about a fucking ancient Native American monster.
Be me. Be adventuring out in the forest. Oh shit, JPEG.
Oh,
It's a
man.
bear. My face one, not a bear.
That's right. Yeah. No, she just posts on like X, man. Hey guys, you heard this creepypasta?
Oh god, 1093.
Oh, I love it. All right. So, if there's sort of nobody else that has things they would like their characters to resolve in between session.
I don't think my character's rampant alcoholism is really going to be solved in one 30-minute session.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, as a side note, I was going to make my character art literally be a picture of Johnny Cash because he really hates it when people call, and like he actually has a pretty good semblance to him, and it pisses him off to no end whenever anybody asks him if he's actually Johnny Cash.
I just love the idea, like he just happens to look like him too. Like it's like no, I'm not Johnny Cash though. No, that's good. Grab a Johnny Cash photo, yeah, for sure. I'm down.
I'll find one
Oh,
tomorrow.
it gets even better. Just as a recurring joke, some sort of stringed instrument has to keep appearing in his personal possession, but he's not the one putting it there. Like, he goes to reach for his gun, and in the case you find a small ukulele, like, ha, very funny, guys. The shit got old after the second Gibson. Stop it.
No, better yet, before everybody started comparing him to Johnny Cash, he unironically got a fucking tattoo of a guitar on his arm.
He was in a
Oh.
band in high school.
All right, so we're gonna get a phone call, right? So you guys are actually fucked for the next session. In a good way, I'm
We
hoping.
gave you too many ideas.
No,
Like-
well, there's always that. I love having too many ideas. My stories explode in a spider web, and if you go in a direction, I'm more than happy to jump on that. Because when I DM, I have a series of scenes, I have a bunch of ideas, and a lot of stuff I'm pretty good at doing on the cuff. So, however the story takes place, I'm more than happy to proceed in that direction. But this time, I did want to do an actual mystery. So again, an actual mystery means you can fail it, right? There is a time limit. There is a can I solve the case before they get away or that kind of situation, right?
And he's not joking about there being a time limit. So when the game does start, we really shouldn't have long periods or gaps of,
Well, that's also going to be fun. But anyway,
Let's go to Mama Luigi's.
so yeah, that's right. I already have a massive timeline written down.
So it's actually like a in real life time limit, not just well, we can think about what we're doing for a couple minutes and then go and do it, and that's where the time's progressing, sort of thing.
Both. So the thing is,
Oh.
I mean, it's sort of this idea, like in real life, if we take a long time deciding on something, I might just, progress an hour so that the next event can happen a little sooner. You know what I mean? Just to keep pace. But
Okay.
it's more so you're worried about where are we going? Are we going to somewhere that we think is going to lead to more clues? Should we split the group up? Splitting the group up is always dangerous in a lethal game, but maybe it's a good idea. But then the question is, if we split the group up, we have different skill sets. Who needs to go where? How long do we spend, like, searching through an entire guy's apartment, for example? These are questions we're gonna have to be thinking about. But don't let the time limit bother you too much, because again, I'm just happy if you can sort of reach the conclusion. You guys might get it right away. You know what I mean? We might solve the case before it's really even got too crazy, and that's awesome. Props to you. I'm not going to be upset that we didn't resolve some cool scenes, because I'm just happy and interested to see how this goes.
The case is actually the bad guy.
Oh shit! Scratch that off. No, I'm just kidding. So on March.
And this is
sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No.
This next mystery is going to be like tangentially related, at least, or is it trying to
Correct.
be Monster of the Week kind of thing?
No,
Okay.
no. I don't know. I love conspiracy theories, so I always have just in the background, there are things related, but in the foreground, I usually put like one little sort of nod, something to hook you. So it's like you get over there, like, okay, it's like oh, hang on, you know what I mean? I've seen one of those before. Our group from the Delta Green case files, if you will, space sausages, for example. It was this sort of one-off monster that I came up with, and it was pretty good, but we kept seeing sort of echoes of them throughout, tying things together, which is pretty cool. Either way,
Okay.
so it's March the 20th now. The thing is, it's still cold. That's not unusual for sort of Minnesota in March. But the weird thing is, it's still kind of misty, foggy. This fog and mist comes early in the morning and doesn't normally leave till sort of mid-afternoon. And it's been pretty much every day. There's been a light mist. Some days it seems like it's getting heavier, especially as the month has gone on. However, at 10 a.m. ish, 10:03 if you prefer, on March the 20th, a phone call is received at the sheriff's office. So, ring, 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 ring. Ring, ring. That'd be you, Mr. Zelphus. You're the sheriff.
Motherfucker stepped out again.
Oh, man.
Sheriff's asleep.
Well, whatever. I guess the
Sheriff's
deputy
dead.
picks up.
Deputy's
All right,
dead.
back. Sorry
Goddamn.
about that.
You fucker.
No, I'm serious. I had to step out for a few minutes. What's up?
No, we just missed the cool role-playing thing, dude. That's all good. Either way,
You know, I'm gonna see. Just stop slowing this down. I'll just step out.
No.
It's-
So I mean, we're almost done. Like, we're just doing an intermission session. It's just talking, figuring things out. Because it's like one of those things, like, it's hard to get everyone to sit down in text chat and say, like, hey, do you guys commit to this decision? And then, like, one guy 3 days later says, yeah, that's all right. Like, fuck off. Like, you know what I mean? If I can get you all to sit down in the same chat, then somebody will finally, like, agree to something. You know what I mean? But anyway, 10 a.m., March the 20th, you receive a phone call. And it's this woman. She's sort of sobbing. She's very, very anxious. And, you can almost hear, like, her voice, like, shaking. And she's like, they killed Linda. Linda's dead. We need help. We're just over at Wait Hill. Please, can you send some people?
Ruffle, are you asking? Me
Well, you're the
this?
sheriff.
All right. I was thinking maybe this would have been coming in through a switchboard, but
Oh, sure, you could blast it over the whole 5 people that work in your police station if you like.
just reach over, kind of like sounds like one
Yeah.
for everyone. Flick all on the
Hit it on
switchboard.
speakerphone.
Yeah. Hey, you're on speaker. Please, she's dead. Yeah, but you're on speaker. Okay?
You gotta speak up. No,
Yeah.
we here in Minnesota don't really take this very
Make
seriously.
sure you don't say anything that you don't want everybody to hear now.
That's right, yeah. Yeah.
Then the people in the background start fucking moaning and talking about weed. No, I'm not talking to my mom, you assholes.
Yes.
This call may be recorded for quality assurance purposes.
Oh no, my favorite one is for English, press 1. I'm trying to report an emergency. Habla español. No me esto. You're sitting there going, I could be bleeding out, dying right now, but you want me to do this. All right.
Well, funny you
Add
mentioned
French in
that.
for good measure.
While you're dick fucking
Don't-
around, you hear a scream
do
and the
not.
phone line goes dead.
See, gentlemen, ladies, this is exactly what I'm talking about time-sensitive contextual clues. Ruffle will do this. If you're joking around and he doesn't like it.
Oh, I
This is what
love
happens.
joking around. There's nothing.
I
I
love
love
joking, except
around, but
this
it's just a joke.
is punishes the NPCs. You monster.
There's no joke about a woman's death.
Especially when a second one was incurred from it.
That's
Well,
right.
you see, there is a joke about her death when, like, she's found hung upside down from a tree by one ankle, and like, because she fell and her shoelaces got caught. It's like, how'd you manage that, you dumbass?
Write that down. In this case.
Well, I mean, it'd also be
Sure.
kind of amazing because if your shoelaces stop your entire body weight, like, damn.
Death by terminal stupidity in tree. Check. Next case. Donuts.
Anyway, so
No,
this lady,
but,
this
in
lady
all
calls
honesty,
and she's quite
all right, ma'am. I need you to calm down for a moment. Who is they? Also, dispatch. Send out squad cars to. What was the location, Ruffle?
Wait Hill.
Wait, like I'm waiting for
weightlifting?
time, or I've got excess weight.
I don't know. I just thought it sounded fun. Wait Hill.
EIG.
Is it? All right, now is it Wait Hell? Come on. You
No,
gotta be
no,
clear
like
with us.
WAIT. Like wait.
Okay.
Because I thought it's like fun because that's such like a, like a northern sounding place like Wait Hill, and it's like, do you say like wait or like white? Like, you know what I mean? But like,
And
No,
that's
they're
why I
at,
ask,
they're at
because
White
people are
Hill.
very.
The zombies are coming.
oh yeah, White Hill, yeah. No, it's Wait Hill, or however your local dialect prefers. But
All right, I'll be just.
so
Do I have any of the other deputies out doing anything right now? Are they loitering around the station, or like they should be? Are they out of their patrol routes?
well, so we have 5 police officers in total, 6 including the intern.
So
So
we're
That's
all in
above
the
the
same building, aren't
wages.
we?
well, 2 of them are sleeping, as you do, because you switch shifts. Yourself, the deputy, and the intern are at the police station, and one of them's probably just out sort of driving around town in the early morning, maybe getting a coffee or something.
Dunkin'
Now, from
Donuts.
where I've got the other deputy, or not the deputy, the other officer who's out patrolling, is he closer to Wait Hill, or are we?
About the same. It's about a 40-minute drive.
Ma'am, what the fuck are you doing 40 minutes away from town?
No, Wait Hill is 40 minutes away from Sleepy Pines.
I reiterate, what the fuck are you doing 40 minutes away from town?
Well, so Wait Hill is a small little town. So we're in Sleepy Pines County, and
So
this,
we're not.
the town of
So,
Sleepy Pines.
so Wait Hill is not a hill.
No, Wait Hill is a small little township. There's a population of about 50, give or take, people there.
Is there a hill that bears the name of the town as well?
There certainly is, yep. There's
Okay.
a big old church and a big old hill. That's all that's really there. There's a grocery store and a bunch of farmers.
Did this town used to be a mining town?
No, but that's
Is this town Silent Hill?
is not Silent Hill.
It's a small agricultural town, I think.
Yeah. It's easy to write what you know. Oh.
All right, in that case, dispatch the officer who's already out.
Mhm.
I'll take the deputy and the intern with me. Wake the other 2 up and let them take over the phones, and let them know to be ready in case something goes wrong and we need them.
Okay, and so
Doesn't matter that they're 40 minutes away. It's still good to
Yeah.
have them in case something else crops up that isn't related to this.
so you're on the phone with her, and so you asked her who's they.
Hmm.
She doesn't know. I don't know who they were, but I came to Linda's house to pick her up for church, and she's dead.
How do you know there were multiple assailants?
I don't.
How do you know there was more than one killer?
Well, they could be
Raffle.
singular.
Oh yeah, they also
It's a-
could be used
But
as
it's
a
very
singular.
possessive as well. Like as if she knew or had an idea as to whom would have a motive to kill Linda.
I mean, that's reasonable. That's fair. Maybe she has an idea.
Let me get on to let me get on to D20 so I can roll a dice for sense motive.
Okay. But I mean,
Well,
we're
also,
hmm?
her saying they killed Linda, like that seems kind of specific, whereas someone's killed Linda or Linda's been killed seems more panicked.
No, I absolutely agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh god, that ubiquitous monotone. Not sure how to take that, DM.
Well, the DM understands words.
Well, that's true.
The DM
Okay,
understands
so-
words when he's not having a stroke.
It's true. Sometimes I have a stroke.
Oh, you decide, DM. It's on you.
Hey, you can have it. You can definitely tell she's panicked. I would say It doesn't seem like she's trying to withhold information from you currently, but it's a little bit hard to hear over the phone, right? Like when you.
Plus, without facial cues.
That's
as
right.
well,
Facial
like
cues are
stance,
kind of
things like
your
that.
big way of determining that kind of shit.
Herbie, you're in the wrong chat for the text.
Okay, fine.
Just saying, like, put it in the role-playing games chat, please.
Also, be careful. We don't want you getting in trouble.
Yeah, his mom's
yeah,
gonna beat him. Yeah.
Tell your mom that we're sorry.
Also, it's good to hear from you, albeit briefly.
So, but anyway,
Alright,
after a
so-
minute, she's sort of says, "Oh, what was that?" Like type of thing. She's like, "Oh God, they're coming."
Ma'am, I'm going to need you to leave immediately. Get to your car and leave. We have officers on the way to you right now.
Well, the
Do
phone
not approach anyone. Do not talk to anyone. Just go.
slams down. And that's the last you hear of that. So, that's sort of where we'll leave this, because that's the next case. Case 2, titled Skin Deep. Ah, that's a fun one. So we'll see. We'll see
Fucking
what
skinwalkers.
we'll see what that has to do.
No.
See what that has to do with anything.
Raffle, do I roll 70?
Oh God, sorry, Herb. I gotta turn you up, bud. Give me 2 seconds.
I haven't maxed and I can't hear him.
All right, try again.
Do I roll 7 times 3d6, drop the lowest for stats, or just roll 6 times?
Whichever you like. Doesn't matter to me too much. I'm pretty chill.
Okay, I'll go roll them.
Cool beans. And then yeah, I'm gonna get the new skill thing. So I've got the new character sheet. At this point, we just had some pre-gen characters to begin with. I love our characters. I do recommend you keep them, but if you want to shift stats around, you know what I'm saying? I'm okay with that too. We can talk about sort of where we're putting things. If you're like, well, I don't want to be like, a doctor who's good at this. I want to be a doctor who's good at this or whatever. That's all cool. It's something we can talk about because it'll be a couple days before we get the case too. But at least we got a little teaser. You know what I mean? A poor lady named Linda is being killed by unknown assailant or assailants, essentially.
Also, don't rule her out, whoever made the call.
Well, that's true. We didn't get her name. So that's awkward. I suppose
True.
we could trace the call. Fox's character would be quite able to do that. Origami would also be.
So
Fox,
it wasn't
roll.
like a landline then, it was a cell phone call?
No, that was a landline they called from.
Okay, so that would be Linda's house then, so that's not very useful.
Hey, look at you.
Did it graduate?
Oh man. You're right, that was Linda's house. I mean, you guys.
Option.
Yes, right?
Question: did I graduate?
Not yet.
intern. Damn.
But soon, actually. You're due for graduation in June. Well, the end of May. So they're kind of hoping you'll get like a big case on your belt. They're really hoping you'll get something with like a serial killer. You know what I mean? Just something interesting. But they know, hey, you're in the middle of fuck nowhere. Might not happen. But they're sort of hoping you'll have more to bring on your resume, if you.
Here you go.
Well, mutant bear attack. He solved that.
Well, you didn't though, did you? So it doesn't look very good. It's like, what'd you do? Well, we found a body, and then the bear died, I guess. That doesn't look very good.
Real good, guys.
It does not look good.
I evict justice on the bear.
I mean, thankfully the CIA and the FBI are not the closest of allies, so hopefully the CIA is not looking into our intern and hurting his chances of getting into the FBI.
Question: is the next case going to start on the 20th then, not the 21st? Just want to get my dates correct.
Correct. It will start on the 20th. It will begin, technically, well, I can't tell you what time in the morning it begins, but technically it does begin on the 20th.
Well, the call came in at 10:03, didn't it?
That's right. The call came at 10:03. So that's
Yeah.
when we're on the case, officially.
On the 20th, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is a Sunday, actually. So you're going to be having a lot of fun, as I assume most of the town will be at church around the time you arrive. And our other big question for tonight, while we think about things and we percolate on what our new case is and, more importantly, how to react, because I assume everyone's going to want to head over to there at some point. The question is, do we head over there all together at the beginning? Do we bring some people partway in? The gamey thing to do is bring everyone right away, and
That's what I was about to say.
you know,
yeah.
and I'm totally okay with that, because I'm okay with being gamey if we can justify it.
Well, counter gaming, why the hell would I be there?
Okay, and that's fair. You know what I mean? Like I said, if we can justify it, totally cool.
Well, we could always call in the people once it could get something turns occulty, or if somebody has like those same cuts, we could call everybody back in and be like, okay, this is still going on, kind of thing.
And I think that is a possibility. We may end up coming across something that brings everybody in. Question. So, if we may, I mean, let's sort of, I guess ask. Do our characters just have like an unspoken rule? Like after we shot the shit out of the bear, and we dragged its corpse back and threw it down the thing, did we all say like, look, this shit is fucked. If any of this dumb shit happens again, like, you know what I mean? Like, we got each other's back type of deal, you know? Because we all got to cover up this event.
We gave each other our pager numbers.
Okay, nice. I think you're the only person with a pager.
No, actually, depending upon the funding of our local sheriff's department, we might actually still be on the pager system.
Not good. So yeah,
At the very least,
1980s
giant cell phone technology, like the actual working brick.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
also, I'm putting that
in the middle of the forest.
Ruffle, I'm putting that in my equipment, also listing it as a melee item in Extremis.
Well, that's, I mean, dude, they're beastly, yeah.
No, man, just get a classic Nokia.
Yeah.
Look, I just want to bludgeon something, not destroy some large installation.
Okay, fine. Don't get a Nokia, get a classic Game Boy. Thing's basically a Sunderbolt.
Okay, that's
Oh,
fair.
did you guys see how that one of those survived a fucking like firebombing of a barracks in Kuwait or some shit?
Oh, that's
Yes, and
incredible.
it still worked.
Yeah, they still have it. It's at the Nintendo Museum, and it's plugged in and is constantly playing Tetris, I think.
That's
Something
crazy.
like that. Yeah, the batteries in it died, but yeah, they have it on external power.
But before we, do our next session, we don't have to know now, but let's think about who is going to be the initial dispatch. Now, if Zelphus, for whatever reason, isn't able to make it that night, if Rudy's not able to make it that night, I know Origami will always be here somewhere, which is great. But if those two aren't able to make it, we're just going to do the gamey thing and have everybody go, just because then we don't have like the normal law enforcement. But if Zelphus and or Rudy and or both would be awesome. But whoever, if you guys are able to make it, definitely, I would say
Just need a little bit of forewarning as to the time and date. Should be able to.
Yeah, it'll be sometime next week. I'll give a shout once I figure some. Oh, I got to find out from Rudy which days he's free first.
How many skill points will I assign under the new system?
Not sure yet. I'll get that too.
Also, are we all redoing our stats with a dice roll, or are we kind of doing like a point by kind of thing?
Yes.
I mean, I'm kind of like, I don't know. If you really want to change your stats up, good. More so, I was thinking of the skills. You know what I mean? Because like,
okay, like the specialties and shit.
Yeah, it's actually. Oh, have you seen the new sheet? I got rid of that.
Yeah,
It's garbage.
Oh,
I don't like it.
okay.
Yeah, I wanted to make it easier, and I've been sitting for a long time trying to figure out how to make it easier. So what it is now is like, again, I'm pretty chill. If you want to argue and say like, I have medical, I probably know pharmacy. Yeah, you know enough of pharmacy. You know what I mean? There is a huge difference between knowing every drug and its use on the planet and knowing surgery, but
I mean, if you're a doctor, you probably know what something like penicillin is.
Yeah, like you know exactly. It's just if it's one of like the crazy drugs. And a pharmacist definitely knows a chunk of chemistry. So like I like overlap because it feels good, it feels natural. But
Oh, man.
Yeah, for the most part, I made the skills like way easier to look at, and then you just, instead of picking like fucking social science, you pick an academic skill like archaeology, and then from there you can use that however you can argue.
Speaking of archaeology, I don't see it on the new sheet. So
It'll be under an academic skill. Pushed it.
Oh.
Okay, and so when we're redoing this sheet, then we're just rolling for whatever skills we probably have, or what?
So it'll be point by for the skills.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what I like to do. It just makes it easy. Everyone gets to customize it and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it wouldn't make sense to roll for it if you're like, oh yes, I'm a surgeon and I rolled low on surgery but high on this random shit.
That's right. Yeah, I think that's a big goof. So either way, yeah.
You fail a surgery roll. Hey, I critically passed my biomechanical. I can put this together, I swear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could make him a sick prosthetic.